Hi, this is Mark from Spectra Web Designs. I'm creating this new video to show you how to update your email settings, because as at the 16th of Feb 2024, the settings are changing from what we're currently using. They've changed in mid-March, so we need to be getting in early with these changes. So all my customers have been contacted, but I thought I'd do a fresh video because the current video is now going to be out of date. So just as a summary, when you get an email from me about your emails, you'll get an email with this email and it will give you your email address and it will give you your password, and there'll be this link underneath, what's called webmail. Now let me just explain this. Obviously this is just a test email and a mock password, because this is all just set up for Spectra. Yours will be, so if yours is mrsmiggins.com, it will be mrsmiggins.co.uk or .com, whatever, and everything will be related to Mrs. Miggins. Just thought I'd explain that. So you'll get this email, and if I scroll down, you will get in red. This is very important. Part and parcel of the settings will be the ingoing and outgoing server details. Now I want to make this clear on this video. What we're looking at is two options, but what we need to move to is your server details. They're both exactly the same. They're going to be your domain name minus the www. Don't use the speech marks. Use just, so I've just used spectrawebdesigns.co.uk. So that's all you use. If that doesn't work, and it says here, if this doesn't work, try, and then cloud330.thundercloud.uk. This will come into effect from mid-March. So I think if you tried this now, there'd be an error. But I think using your domain name, what the hosting company is saying, to move over to using the domain name, because in future, when they update their servers, which is what they're doing, because it was cloud something else, they can do all that. And if we're not using this and just our domain names, we won't have to worry about it. That's just something they do their end. We just carry on as normal. I'm just in the process of updating all my customers, so it's a little bit of a nightmare. So this is important information, and I have put here, please copy the server names from this info sheet and paste them. And ironically, sometimes errors do happen where you type it in and it doesn't work, and then you copy it and put it in and it does. Absolutely bizarre. It should never be a thing, but it is a thing. I got this from my hosting company when I was struggling one day, and I couldn't believe it actually made a difference, and it does. So enough waffle. So let's go on to setting up on Outlook. Now this is the Outlook that you would download to a desktop. So to put a new email, click on File, and that will take you to this screen, and we need to add account. Now I'm just going to minimize this, get out of it. I'm going to minimize this a little bit so we can put this side by side to my letter. You can see all my screens open, look at that. So we click File at the top. Why does everything need 2? And then you click 2. There we go. I'll take out that. So we're going to add in the email address. So my mock one for this is test@Spectra Web Designs. So we're going to put it in here. And we're going to just try clicking connect. Sometimes you might be lucky and it works, but I don't think it's going to. Passwords, we put in the password I've given you. Click connect. More often than not, it'll come up with an error. Oh, look at this. It never came up with an error, actually did it? Okay, well that's pretty cool. So if this happens, your email's sorted. So let me just come out here, click done, and you go into your email, and you'll see more often than not a test email message that you've got. Now this is really simple. If it sets up perfectly like this, and then fantastic, you're done. What you just need to do now is send an email to yourself. Now, if you've got another email address, some of us have more than one, especially if we've run the business email, send one to and just send it back. What you need to see is if whether your outgoing settings are working. So your email gets sent, you receive it somewhere else, your friend, your wife, whatever, husband. And then if they send it back and you get it, because there's two different settings. There's your outgoing emails and your incoming emails. Right, so if that all works fine, yeah, your email's working to and from, brilliant. Move on from that and go and enjoy your life. If you've got an error, and you would also do this if you were looking to change your email, you want to get back into your settings. Now I can show you what we can do now and where we put those incoming and outgoing server details. So you go up to File again. Now, if you had an error putting your email in that came up, there'll be an option to get into the settings. You would click on settings and it would take you to this page. But for us to get to it now, we need to make sure we've got the email selected here. And then we click on account settings and we want server settings. And this is what we come to. You'll get a screen like this with your incoming mail server and outgoing mail. Now this is really important. So if you were putting this in manually, so say you had an error and you suddenly got, oh, I've got to put it all in manually, what am I doing? This is the screen you'll be looking at, or something very, very similar. So your username is your email address. The password is the password I've sent you. Now, this is what's interesting. This used to be cloud316. If you look down here, it's changed now to 330. It used to be cloud316.thundercloud.uk. That used to go in there. But what we've been advised to do now is to put your domain name. Remember, not the speech marks there as per this. So you're just writing in, like me, so you would put in mrsmiggins.com. I'll be putting spectrawebdesigns.co.uk because that's my website address. The numbers here should self-populate. If they don't and you're having problems, you can see I've put it there. And that is for incoming. This is incoming. Outgoing server is if you just select this. Again, the server name is the same. All right, as your incoming. Here, they're the same. So put them in. And this time we've got port numbers. I've got a couple here for outgoing. 465 will generate, and it seems to be fine for me. If you've got any issues, try 587. More often than not, even if you're doing this on a mobile phone, these port numbers will generate themselves. Okay. And then what we do, we put those server details in, and then we would click next. But just before that, I'm just going to explain, if you want to change your password, come in here and write your new password in. You'd have to change it first. So go on a password reset, but your Outlook will still be looking for your old password. So this is, yeah, you've reset your password, Mrs. Miggins 1, but you go to use Outlook and it says, cannot, update your password. This is how you do it. So just type it in here and then click next. So when you've put all your information in, click next, and it's saying we're getting ready. Account successfully updated. All right. Then you would hear bing, 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 like that. And then you come into your inbox. Because we've done it a second time, we've got a second test message. Look. And then run the same test again. Send it to another email address and reply from that other email back. Just check you've got your to and from. That should be it. Of course, as usual, any problems, just give me a call. And thank you.